What's up YouTube, welcome back to another video on my channel Skotrix, and today as you can see we are back on NBA 2K21 Next Gen for another build guide video. And in today's video I'm going to be showing y'all how to build the Magic Johnson build in NBA 2K21 Next Gen. This build is amazing. It gets a ton of playmaking, it can shoot, it can finish at the rim, it has contact dunks, and it's one of the best defensive guards in the whole game, and it also has really good physicals. So it's a super good all around point guard build, and it's 6'8", so it really is as close to a demigod as you can make in this game. And without any further ado, let's get right into the video here. Alright, so in this first screen, nothing really matters too much. The only thing that's important is you want your position to be a point guard, obviously. The hand, jersey number, name, none of that matters. You can set that up however you want, then go ahead and click continue. Now for the second screen right here, first off for the height, you obviously want to go up to 6'8" right here. This is the maximum height that you can make a point guard. I know Magic Johnson is really about 6'9", but you can only make point guards 6'8", and to be 6'9", you would have to make this a small forward, which would really be weird. You don't want to be a small forward and be the Magic Johnson build. That doesn't even make sense. You got to be a point guard, and the max height is 6'8", so that's where you want to be right there. Then for the weight right here, you just want to bring this down all the way to 185 pounds, which is the minimum weight. This is so that you can get that 85 speed. You're definitely going to want that. You don't want to be slow with this build for sure. You want to be at least up to 85 speed. Plus, remember when you run on the treadmill, that'll get up to 89, and then once you get above 95 overall, you'll easily be able to get into the 90 speed ranking. And at 6'8", 90 speed is ridiculously fast, and with all the playmaking badges that you can get, you're going to be super fast, so don't worry about that. The speed is plenty high enough as long as you're at minimum weight, and nothing that you lose for lowering your weight is too important. And then for the wingspan right here, you just want to stay at 6'8". This is the minimum wingspan, and the reason you want to stay here is so that you can get pro dribble moves with the 80 ball handle. If you bring this up if you're planning on grinding this build above 95 overall, then you could bring this up, but you're going to not have pro dribble moves right off the rip. So you could bring it up, but it's kind of, you know, you'd have to wait a pretty long time to get pro dribble moves. You'd basically have to grind the build all the way to 96 or 97 overall, which isn't hard, but I mean, for me, I just want to get pro dribble moves right off the rip. So 6'8" is the perfect wingspan right there. Then for the body shape, it doesn't matter. You can set this up however you want. It doesn't affect the build in any way, doesn't affect the attributes, doesn't affect the badges. It only changes how the build looks. So you can choose whichever one you want. I'll just go ahead and take build because that's pretty similar to Magic Johnson in my opinion. Then I'll go ahead and say continue right here. Now for the attribute and badge distribution for this build, first off for the finishing right here, you just want to max out your driving layup, driving dunk, and standing dunk, and then you can actually bring your standing dunk down 1 right here and not lose any finishing badges. So you want to do that. That gives you 12 finishing badges right there, and you can see you have a lot of the best badges. You have Slithery on Hall of Fame, Posterizer on Gold, which is good enough, Lob City Finisher, Heat Seeker, Acrobat, Fearless Finisher, all the good finishing badges you can get, mostly all onto Hall of Fame. And to go along with your good finishing attributes right here, you'll have more than enough. You'll be able to finish at the rim super consistently. Plus, remember, you're going to have a decent size height advantage over most other guards, so that's really good right there. With the 12 finishing badges, you'll be good. Then go down to shooting right here, max out mid-range, max out three-pointer, and then put your free throw right up here to a 35. This gives you 11 shooting badges. And you know, Magic Johnson wasn't much of a shooter, but this is what really makes this build even better than Magic Johnson, because you get 11 shooting badges to go along with a 92 three-pointer and a 95 mid-range. So you'll be an amazing knockdown shooter, as well as everything else, the defense, the playmaking, and the finishing. So 11 shooting badges rather. With all those badges you can get onto Hall of Fame that you can see right there, you'll be more than good enough. Then you can go down to playmaking right here. For playmaking, you want to max out pass accuracy, ball handle, and speed with ball, just like that. And you don't want to move anything down, you just want to keep everything maxed out just like this. If you move anything down, you'll lose a playmaking badge. Don't want that. You want to have all of your playmaking badges right there, 16. And you can see you can unlock every single playmaking badge, and a lot of the good ones you can get onto Hall of Fame. Some of them, like handles for days, you can only get onto gold, but that's okay. You can get Dimer, Floor General, Unpluckable Space Creator, a bunch of other good badges all the way up to Hall of Fame. So you're going to be a really good playmaker with this build, especially at 6'8". A build with pro dribble moves at 6'8" is going to be absolutely insane. So that's good for the playmaking right there. Then you can go down to defense right here, and for defense you just want to max out perimeter defense. Just skip your steal for now. You're going to come back to that, max out your block, and then max out your defensive rebound. And then, like I said, you can go back up to your steal and just put this up to a 63. This gives you 13 defense badges. You can see you get clamps onto gold, Pick Dodger on Hall of Fame. You can actually get Intimidator onto gold, which basically no other guard build can get. So that's really good. And Rebound Chaser onto Hall of Fame, Rim Protector on gold, a ton of other good badges. And the reason you put your steal up to a 63 right here isn't so you can get a ton of steals. The steal attribute itself actually isn't as important, But if you put it up to a 63, you'll be able to get a lot more off-ball steals with the interceptor badge right there. So if you put it down, you lose a defense badge, and if you put it down even more, you lose interceptor, and you don't want that. So a 63 steal right here, most builds don't even have enough attributes to upgrade the steal, so this is really good that you can get that up right there. Then you go down to speed, max that out, acceleration, same thing. Then go down to your stamina, and max that out. And then with this last little bit that you have remaining, just put that into vertical, get that up to a 78 so that you can get more rebounds, get more blocks, and finish better at the rim. It's really important that you have a decent vertical. You don't need an amazing, but it is kind of a luxury that you can get it as high as you can on this build. So yeah, you can see mostly everything that's important is upgraded. Your strength isn't upgraded, but that's not that important. Your offensive rebound isn't maxed, again, not that important. Same thing with steal. Interior defense really doesn't matter because block affects how good you can contest shots this year. Mike Wang confirmed that on Twitter recently, so interior defense really doesn't matter that much. All your playmaking is maxed, all your shooting is amazing, and all your finishing is amazing. So this is a really good all-around point guard build. And I will mention really quick, the reason I didn't put anything into close shot is because I mention this every video, but it eats up attributes and it really gives no badges. So if you take away standing dunk and put that into close shot, you can see you can only get up to a 37 and it gives you 5 badges. So why would you do that when you could get this up to a 75 and get 12 badges? It doesn't even make sense to upgrade the close shot. It's such an attribute eating with no badge giving type of thing. It's basically useless. So this is how you're going to set it up right here. Go ahead and say yes, continue. Now for the takeovers right here, you actually cannot get the playmaking takeovers, which is kind of weird, but it's not a deal breaker for me, honestly. You don't really need those takeovers. They're not as good as the playmaking takeovers been in previous years anyways, so these ones that you have right here are more than good enough options. And if you did want to get the playmaking takeover, you would have to make this build 6'7" or lower in height, so really not worth it in my opinion. I think just choosing one of these is a much better option. And for me, the ones that I'm gonna take, I'm actually gonna take a lockdown one as my primary because Magic Johnson was a super good defender, so I'm gonna take extreme clamps as my primary. And then for my secondary, I'm going to take ankle breaking shots so that I can break people's ankles. And this is really the closest one to a playmaking takeover right here, so I'm going to choose that. But remember, at 95 overall, you can change your takeovers, so don't, it's important to choose good ones off the rip, but it's not the end of the world if you choose ones that you don't end up liking. But I'm going to go ahead and confirm it like this, say yes, continue, and as you can see right here, boom, you've built a two-way threat, shades of Spencer Dinwiddie, Malcolm Brogdon, and Penny Hardaway. But really this build does play like Magic Johnson. It's a super good demigod build. So now I'm going to take a quick second and show you guys how to put on the badges as well as the final attributes right here for this build. I recommend you stick around for this. It'll only take a second and hopefully it will help you make the build as good as possible if you do decide to go ahead and make this build. But first off, for the finishing badges right here, first I recommend getting Posterizer onto gold for sure. Then you're probably going to want to get Slithery all the way up to Hall of Fame. That's a pretty important badge right there. Then if you took a takeover that is a slashing takeover, you're going to want to get Heat Seeker up to probably Hall of Fame. I didn't take a slashing takeover, so I'm not going to take this one. But again, if you did take a slashing takeover, you're going to want Heat Seeker. And as well, if you're going to be catching a lot of lobs, you're definitely going to want Lob City Finisher. I'm not planning on catching a lot of lobs, so I'm not going to put that one on. Instead, I'm going to put Acrobat onto silver and Fearless Finisher onto gold right there. So that's how I'm going to set up the badges right there. The reason I put Acrobat on is I explained this in my best finishing badges. I'll put a link up in the top corner if you want to watch that. But Acrobat is a lot better this year than it's been in years past, so I'm definitely going to want to have that onto silver. And you probably are going to want to have that too for your build. Then for the shooting badges right here, again off the rip, if you took a shooting takeover, you're probably going to want Hot Shot. I did take ankle breaking shots, but I'm still not going to put this badge on just because I have 11 shooting badges. And even though that'll be enough, it's not a ton. So since I didn't take a sharp shooting takeover, I'm not going to bother putting on Hot Shot since I would rather have badges that help me make shots consistently rather than grind up to my takeover. So instead, I'm going to put Hot Zone Hunter onto Hall of Fame. As long as you have Hot Zones, this is a super important badge. And then I'm going to go ahead and put Deep Threes onto Hall of Fame. Now you won't be able to get this badge onto Hall of Fame right off the rip, but once you get above 95 overall, you will be able to get it up to Hall of Fame. And then with my remaining 3 right here, I'm going to put Deadeye onto bronze, Blinders onto bronze, and Stop and Pop onto bronze, just like that. This is the best way to set up the shooting badges in my opinion for this build. Again, if you got a sharpshooting takeover, you might want to go like this or something, but for me, the best way to set it up is just like this. So that's how I'm going to go ahead and confirm. And now on to playmaking badges right here. First off, for playmaking, if you really want to be the Magic Johnson build, you're definitely going to want to have Dimer and Floor General onto Hall of Fame. I know that eats up a lot of your playmaking badges, but really you're going to want to have those if you want to be the true Magic Johnson build. Then you can get handles for days up to Hall of Fame as well. Then quick first step onto gold. That's a really important badge as well. And then I'm going to put this last badge into unpluckable onto bronze right here. And this is really, I think, the best way to set these up for the Magic Johnson build for sure. If you don't want to get diamond or floor general, if you don't really care about helping your teammates too much, then you can invest in ankle breaker, space creator, especially if you took ankle breaking shots like me. Space creator will be a good one, and maybe special delivery if you're going to be throwing flashy passes. But this is a good way to set it up for me, so I'm going to go ahead and confirm. Now for the defense badges right here, first off, I'm going to get clamps all the way up to gold, just like that. Then if you took a defense takeover like I did, you're going to want to put hot stopper up all the way to Hall of Fame probably, because you'll get your takeover basically instantly. If you get one steal or one block, boom, you got your takeover instantly. So I'm going to put that on, and then I'm also going to put interceptor up to gold and intimidator up to gold, just like that. But if you don't have a defensive takeover, you could take this one down, and you could get a few other badges. You could get chase down onto bronze, heart crusher onto bronze, rebound chaser onto bronze, rim protector onto bronze, just like that. This really covers all bases on defense if you want to set it up like this. But for me, I am going to put hot stopper onto Hall of Fame just because I took that defensive takeover. Go ahead and confirm, and there you guys go. That is how you build the Magic Johnson build in NBA 2K21 Next Gen. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you like, subscribe to my channel if you're new. I upload daily NBA 2K21 content, build guides, jump shots, tips and tricks, all that. And I also stream on Twitch. My Twitch link will be down in the description below, so make sure you go follow me over there. But anyways, that's it. All right, peace.